Welcome back to Sports Night in Auburn. My name is Vince Wolfram.
And I'm Alexa Johnson. Tonight we'll be diving into the end of equestrian season, men and women's golf, baseball, softball, and Auburn's men's tennis is preparing to host the SEC tournament. All this and more tonight on Sports Night in Auburn.
This past weekend was the National Collegiate Equestrian Association National Championship. And despite cruising past number 7 South Carolina and number 3 Oklahoma State, number 2 Auburn Equestrian ultimately fell to number 1 SMU in the national championship. The championship match between Auburn and SMU was the second time the teams have met this season, with Auburn taking the win last month, but the Mustangs came back with vengeance, snatching the top spot 11-8.
Despite the heartbreaker, plenty of Tigers were placed on the all-championship team, including Ava Stearns in fences and flat, Sophie Steckbeck in fences, freshman Caroline Fredenberg and Alexia Tordoff in horsemanship, and Olivia Marino in reining. Auburn Equestrian concluded their season with a 13-3 overall record after reaching the national final for the first time since 2019 and also earned their 5th straight SEC title.
On fire. Also ending their season and collegiate career is Auburn's very own queen of the floor, Darian Gobourne. The 5th year took her final bow at the NCAA championship, scoring a 9.9125 on her last floor routine ever. This score placed her 22nd overall in the event. The Sarasota native was representing the Tigers as an individual on the floor exercise. This season, Gobourne competed in all but one meet, earning All-American recognition with a 9.94 national qualifying score. After multiple SEC weekly honors this season, she was named SEC Specialist of the Year for the 3rd consecutive year.
Wow. When we come back, we'll discuss women's golf's run in the SEC tournament and the Iron Bowl of baseball. You're watching Sports Night in Auburn. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Sports Night in Auburn. This past weekend was the SEC Women's Golf Tournament in Birmingham. After shooting 6 over par, number 7 Auburn ended round 1 tied for 7th. However, the Tigers' run was cut short in the quarterfinals after just barely losing to number 4 South Carolina 3-2. However, in better news for the Tigers, Megan Schofield finished as an individual runner-up at the championship. The senior shot a final round 2 over for a 54-hole score, total 3 under par. This is the Monticello, Florida native's 4th top 5 finish this season and the 9th of her collegiate career.
Junior Anna Foster also landed in the top 10, tying for the 10th place spot. Foster's final round featured 2 birdies, and she finished 1 over 73. This is also her 9th top 10 finish in college. The women now await the 2023 NCAA Women's Golf Regional Selections that will be announced on April 26th.
This week for men's golf, it is the 2023 SEC Championship in St. Simons Island, Georgia. Number 9 ranked Tigers look to win its 5th SEC title. The championship starts today and will conclude with the finals on Sunday. This year, the Tigers that will be competing are freshman Reed Lauder, sophomore Brendan Valdez, juniors Carson Baca, J.M. Butler, and Ryan Eshelman, and senior Alex Vogelsong.
Auburn is the 2nd highest team, competing at number 9 behind number 1 Vanderbilt. The 6 other ranked SEC teams behind Auburn include number 10 Florida, number 14 Tennessee, number 15 Texas A&M, number 17 Alabama, number 18 Mississippi State, and number 20 Ole Miss. Auburn began play again against the Vanderbilt Commodores and the Florida Gators.
SEC flooded, I love it. The 15th ranked Auburn women's tennis team split the weekend, first defeating South Carolina at home, but then dropped the match last night of the regular season to number 17 Florida. Today's 5-2 win over the Gamecocks marked the Tigers' 8th in conference victory of the season. Ariana Arnasault, Carolyn Anasari, DJ Bennett, and Angela Okatoyi each recorded a singles victory. Then Auburn swept all 3 doubles matches. The luck did not continue into Sunday, though, as the Tigers started the match dropping the doubles points, and even after fighting back to tie the match 2-2 before the remaining 3 singles matches, they could not overcome the Gators, losing 5-2. Eagle Eye's Jakai Spikes was at Yarborough for the matchup, and here is her exclusive take from the game.
It was a long but a beautiful day on April 16th at the Yarborough Tennis Center. Number 15 Auburn battled against number 17 Florida in the best of 7, where double matches counted 1 point. Ariana Arsenal and Caroline Ansari was match 1, and they ended up with a score 6-0. DJ Bennett and Caitlin Carcinella finished their double off, winning the match 3-2. Flatch and Angela Okuntoyi battled hard, but Florida ended up taking home the win with a score of 6-1. On to the singles, DJ Bennett took home the win, battling Florida opponent, winning by 6-2. Angela Okuntoyi fought hard, ending the match with a score of 7-6. Ariana also not played very smart, but unfortunately not getting her the win, losing by 1 point, 6-7. Caitlin Carnicella hitting the ball very hard, but not enough to get her a win, finalizing the score 6-3 Florida. Caroline Ansari dominated today on the court, winning her single 6-2. And Adeline Flack battled hard, not getting tired against her opponent, Bennett Steve, who won 6-4 Florida.
What a beautiful day at the Yarborough Tennis Center. The Auburn Tigers took on the University of Florida in a very competitive match, although not enough to win. Florida winning 5-2 Auburn. This is Eagle Eye TV, Prospects.
Despite the loss, following her impressive performance this weekend, the senior recorded 2 ranked singles wins over the weekend, putting her at 7 wins over ranked opponents this season. The Greensboro, North Carolina native's win over Florida's Carly Briggs was her 75th career singles victory, tying 9th all-time in program history. Ansari and the rest of the Auburn team will start postseason tomorrow at the SEC Championship in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Entering as a 5th seed, the Orange and Blue will play its first match tomorrow morning at 9 against the winner of tonight's match between 13 seed Mizzou and 12 seed Ole Miss.
An early morning, I love it. It was a bit of a tough weekend on the men's side. The number 17 Auburn Tigers came up short against the number 46 Tigers from the Bayou. LSU upset Auburn 4-1 Friday evening in Baton Rouge. The Orange and Blue started off strong in doubles. Jan Galka and Billy Blades immediately recorded a 6-1 victory, and number 29 ranked Raul Dubal and Finn Murgett took down LSU's top doubles team of Ronald Homan and Nick Watson 6-4. It was in that singles match that LSU ran away, claiming 4 of the 6 wins.
The misfortune continued on Sunday. Auburn concluded the regular season with a 4-1 loss to number 24 Texas A&M. The sole win from the Tigers came from Tyler Sice's singles victory. Auburn men's tennis concludes the regular season 17-11 overall, 12-2 at home, and 5-8 in SEC play. Starting tomorrow, the Tigers will host the SEC Championship at home in the Yarborough Tennis Center, as the 9-seed Auburn will play at 3 p.m. tomorrow against number 8 Florida.
Should be a good one. Auburn baseball lost a tough series last weekend, but it bounced back last night. The Tigers headed to Tuscaloosa this past weekend to take on the Crimson Tide. They started off strong, clinching the win in the series opener 8-4. MVP of the game was graduate student Tommy Vale, as he went on to pitch 6 2/3 scoreless innings. However, despite this win, the team went on to lose the next 2 games 4-2 and 6-1, ultimately losing the series.
Then back home last night for the annual Bark in the Park game, Auburn took on the Samford Bulldogs at Plainsman Park. The Tigers defeated Samford 13-3. The team dominated in the 8th inning, scoring 6 runs and ending the game early. Cole Foster and Cooper McMurray both had home runs, scoring their 5th and 6th home runs of the season, respectively.
Jumping over to the other diamond on the Plains, Auburn softball had a pretty successful week, winning 3 of their last 4 games. Starting off last Wednesday, the Tigers took on Troy in a midweek matchup. Auburn defeated the Trojans 7-5. Then over the weekend, the number 21 Auburn hosted number 13 LSU for some SEC play at Jane B. Moore Field. The series opener took place Friday night with junior Maddie Penta tossing 6 shutout innings, leading Auburn to a 5-3 win. Eagle Eye's Jakai Spikes was at Friday's win again, and here is her coverage from the game.
It was a beautiful day with a high of 70 degrees out on Jane B. Moore Field. The game started at 5 o'clock against the LSU Tigers. Fans began to trickle LSU teammate Cavanagh Jervis, who passed because of cancer. Number 9, Maddie Pinta pinched with a strong arm, causing outfield Sierra Briggs and Allie Newland to strike out 3. At the bottom of the first inning, LSU pitcher Allie's opponent threw some fastball to Auburn, although Lindsey Garcia, owner to the left side of the field, getting a home run for the Auburn Tigers. LSU's number 14, Carly Petty, with the ball to the outer right field, advancing to the second base. LSU's fast pitch balls wasn't too hard for Isis Trevek as she advances to second base. Auburn's batter, KK McCrary, grounded out to shortstop, causing Isis Trevek to sprint to home base, getting a score for the Auburn Tigers. Number 8, LSU Savannah Stewart single to the right field. The LSU Tigers single to the right side, advancing to second and third off a wild pitch. The LSU Tigers kept fighting, trying to get a home run. Number 77, Bree Ellis got a shortstop, and she's safe. At the top of the 7th inning, LSU Sierra Briggs scored 2 points. Auburn wins this home game, leaving the score at 5-2 against the LSU Tigers. This is Eagle Eye TV, Jakai site.
Then, looking to clinch the series on Saturday, the Auburn Tigers fell flat. Even with a clutch solo home run from senior Lindsey Garcia in the bottom of the 6th to cut it to a 1-run game, LSU tied the series, defeating Auburn 3-2.
Looking to win the series and defeat LSU for the first time since 2017, on Sunday, Auburn completed the upset. In a wild finish, number 21, Auburn defeated number 13, LSU 1-0. In a pitching battle, the game was scoreless throughout 8 innings, but junior Mikayla Packer came through with a 2-out base hit in the bottom of the 9th, leading to a walk-off win.
That's a way to do it.
Penta shut out LSU's offense through 8.2 innings. This victory was Auburn's 3rd series win in SEC play this season and the first extra inning win of 2023. Tonight, the 19th ranked Tigers are back in action, taking on Jacksonville State for the annual Bark in the Park game. Then over the weekend, the team will travel to Tuscaloosa for the softball Iron Bowl, taking on number 14, Alabama.
How do you not love a Bark in the Park game? Those are the best.
Right?
In other softball news, junior Maddie Pinta was selected as one of the 25 finalists for the USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year. She is one of 8 athletes from the SEC to be a finalist for this award, and the first Tiger since Kaylee Carlson in 2018. Pinta is ranked 3rd in the country with 224 strikeouts and is in the top 10 for 11 different single-season pitching categories.
Jumping over to soccer, Auburn has extended its spring winning streak to 4 games with their most recent 1-0 win over Tennessee on Saturday. The sole goal of the game came from freshman Dylan Driver, her 4th of the spring. Next up, Coach Hoppe and company will verse Florida State in Tallahassee on Saturday at 1 p.m. to wrap up their exhibition season.
In other exciting soccer news, the Tigers have signed goalkeeper Jenna Sapong to the program. The Johns Creek, Georgia native is a 2-time All-Region soccer player, was named her high school's MVP during the 2021-22 season, and was a runner-up for the Region 5 Soccer Player of the Year.
Nice. And after a historic 24 seasons on the Plains, Auburn's head diving coach Jeff Schaefer has announced his retirement. Schaefer helped lead Auburn to multiple NCAA and Southeastern Conference team and individual titles.
In his 2+ decades here, Schaefer has coached 7 NCAA individual champions, 27 SEC champions, and 108 All-Americans. He has been awarded NCAA Diving Coach of the Year twice and SEC Diving Coach of the Year on 8 separate occasions. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Auburn players who are preparing for the NFL Draft because, guess what? The draft is just 1 week away. You are watching Sports Night in Auburn.
Welcome back to Sports Night in Auburn. The 2023 NFL Draft is just over a week away. The draft starts next Thursday, April 27th, and will conclude on Saturday, April 29th. Auburn has 13 former Tigers who are hoping to hear their name called. The defensive players include edges Derek Hall and Iku Leota, linebacker Owen Papo, defensive ends Colby Wooden and Marcus Bragg, defensive tackle Marquise Burks, and defensive lineman Morris Joseph Jr.
On the offensive side, running back Tank Bigsby, tight end John Samuel Schenker, wide receiver Cedric Jackson, and offensive lineman Brandon Council and Killian Zarir, as well as kicker Anders Carlson, are all hopeful. There have been quite a few mock drafts over the past few weeks that have placed Auburn Tigers all over the board. Derek Hall has been projected as early as the first round. In NFL draft analyst Lance Zerline's mock draft, he is off the board 31st overall to the defending Super Bowl champ, Kansas City Chiefs.
Love it. In CBS Sports' most recent mock draft, there were 4 Tigers selected. Ryan Wilson had Tank Bigsby being the first Tiger off the board going into the 3rd round, 66 overall to the Arizona Cardinals. Next, they had 2 more in the 3rd round, with Derek Hall going 77th overall to the Los Angeles Rams and Colby Wooden going 103rd to the Chicago Bears. Lastly, they had Owen Papo chosen in the 4th round, 109th overall to the Las Vegas Raiders.
ESPN's Mel Kiper and Todd McShay also did a joint mock drafts for days 1 and 2. The duo had Derek Hall going 61st overall to the Chicago Bears and Colby Wooten going 87th overall to the Minnesota Vikings. The draft will take place in Kansas City, Missouri, and will be aired live on ABC and ESPN.
That is all we have for you tonight, and make sure to stay up to date with all things Auburn sports by visiting our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, and by following our Twitter at EETV_sports. I am Alexa Johnson.
And I'm Vince Wolfram. Have a great night, and War Eagle.